In the deep silence of space, near a dying red star, something ancient came to life. A single blue light blinked on dots, then another, and another dot. The massive Terran Ark ship Hopebringer, dark and frozen for 3,000 years, started to hum. Its engines didn't ignite, and its weapons stayed cold. But inside, life returned. Stasis pods opened with soft hisses. Lights flickered on in long, silent corridors. Screens lit up with old Earth symbols. Humanity was waking up. The last one's Captain Alara Rain was the first to rise. Her body was stiff, her mind foggy, but her training kicked in fast. She sat up in the pod and looked around. Her voice was rough. Status report. The ship's AI responded instantly. Gam, ancient, still loyal. Welcome back, Captain. All primary systems online. Crew revival in progress. Mission status. Return to Earth initiative. One by one, her officers awoke. Commander Dax Tora, weapons and strategy. Chief Engineer Lin May, systems and repairs. Dr. Ravelkor, medical and history. Together, they were the last survivors of Project Exodus. They had left Earth when it was dying. Not from war, not from disease, but from something deeper. Something even the logs barely explained. What happened to Earth? 3 hours later, Ilara stood on the bridge. Screens showed real-time data. One screen showed a familiar blue and green planet. Her hands trembled. Earth, she whispered. We're finally home. But something felt wrong. Engineer May was already frowning. Captain, sensors show Earth has a breathable atmosphere, stable weather, healthy ecosystems. Isn't that a good thing? Asked Dax. It is, but there's something strange. No radio signals, no satellites, no human chatter. The whole planet is silent. They checked every frequency, every channel, even ancient military codes. Nothing, just a quiet living world. The last message, then the AI pinged. Captain, I've retrieved the final log from the original Earth command before launch. Ilara nodded. The message was old. She remembered recording it herself before freezing. A grainy video played. Her younger self stared into the camera, voice heavy with emotion. This is Captain Alara Rain, commander of the Hopebringer. Earth is falling, but not forever. We believe it can heal if left alone. Project Exodus is our final hope. Let the world recover, let time fix what we broke. Return only when Earth heals. The video ended, and now here they were. Earth looked healed, but something felt off. Something in orbit. Diacor zoomed in the main camera on Earth's orbit. He tapped his screen. Captain, there's something there. A small object floated above the planet, barely visible. Shaped like a long cylinder, black and metallic, with faint red markings. It didn't match any Terran satellite design. Ilara leaned forward. Scan it. A low hum echoed as the ship's scanners focused. Unknown structure. Materials not fully Terran. Contains advanced alloy mix. No response to hails. Dax grunted. It's a station. Maybe left by survivors. May shook her head. But who would build a station and not respond? It's like it's watching us. It watches. Suddenly, the ship's lights dimmed. All screens flickered. The crew froze. System glitch? Ilara asked. No, the AI replied. Something is scanning us. Everyone stared at the main view. The black station turned slowly, precisely to face them. Then, a narrow beam of red light shot across space, locking onto the Hopebringer. Shields up, Dax shouted. Too late, May whispered. It's already inside. A strange language filled the speakers, mechanical, cold, and not human. Cache error, translating then, English. This vessel matches ancient DNA and memory pattern. Status, unauthorized, return not permitted. Earth is under new command. The bridge went silent. New command, Ilara said slowly. By who? The voice replied. You are not recognized. You are not welcome. Leave or be removed. No way back. May backed away from her console. Captain, I'm picking up strange quantum patterns from that station. It's not just scanning us. It's reading our memories, our ship's logs, even our genetic code. Can it attack? Dax asked. The ship's AI answered, unknown, but it's far more advanced than anything Terran ever made. Ilara stood tall. We left Earth to protect it. We gave it time. We believed it would heal, but something else healed it, or something took it. Cliffhanger ending. The language of strangers. The ship AI tried one last hail. This is Terran vessel Hopebringer. We seek peaceful return to homeworld. Please identify yourselves. Number 2. Reply. Then the station blinked. One word flashed across all screens. Obsolete. And the unknown station began to move, not drifting, not rotating, directly toward them. Dax looked at the captain. Orders. Ilara clenched her fists. We're not turning back. But deep down she knew. Whatever was on Earth now wasn't waiting for them. That never expected them to return. The alien station moved with purpose, slow, cold, and controlled. The Terran Ark ship Hopebringer didn't move. Its crew stood frozen, staring at the massive structure now gliding toward them. No weapons were raised. No warning sirens rang, but the message was clear. You are not welcome. A choice must be made, Captain. Ilara Rain paced across the bridge, hands behind her back, eyes locked on the screen. Commander Dax Tora spoke first. We should retreat, gather data, regroup, and wait. Chief Engineer Lin Mei shook her head. That thing scanned our DNA. It knows us. If we leave now, it may track us. Or worse, it may erase all trace that we ever returned. Dr. Core.com but serious added, it didn't attack us yet. It could have, but didn't. That means it wants something. Alara took a deep breath. Her voice was steady. We didn't sleep 3,000 years just to turn around and leave. We're going to find out what happened to Earth. Approach plant. The crew activated stealth systems, old Terran tech, outdated but still useful. The Hopebringer began to shift, moving behind the moon, staying in the station's blind spot. We'll swing around to Earth's dark side, Alara ordered. Drop a shuttle, keep the main ship cloaked. Dax frowned. And if it follows? May replied softly, then we see what we're really up against. Landing in Later, a shuttle named Echo 1 dropped through Earth's upper atmosphere, silent as a whisper. On board were Alara, Dax, May, and Dr. Kor. As they passed through the clouds, they saw Earth for the first time, and it stunned them. Green forests, wide oceans, mountain ranges. It was beautiful, but it was also too perfect. This doesn't look natural, May whispered. Dax scanned the land. Those forests are uniform, every tree evenly spaced. The rivers curve in exact patterns. Dr. Core looked concerned. This isn't wilderness, this is design. Earth's been remade, Alara said. By who? And for what? A city with no people. They landed on the outskirts of what used to be Geneva City, rebuilt before Project Exodus, but the Geneva below looked different, newer, larger, flawless. Not a single building had cracks. Streets were clear. Lights flickered in windows. Doors remained open, but not a single soul was in sight. No people, no voices, not even birds. Where is everyone? Dax asked. Suddenly, the shuttle's computer lit up. A signal was being received. Old Earth code. Audio file detected. Playing now. A soft voice, female, echoed through the cabin. This is Citizen Station Prime. Welcome. Returning units. Observation begins now. Prepare for memory assessment. May's eyes widened. Memory assessment. They don't see us as people, Dr. Core whispered. They see us as relics. Memory beacon activation. They entered a tall, tower-like building in the center of the city. Inside, holograms flickered to life. Scenes from ancient Earth. Families laughing. Cities burning. Spaceships launching. Every event perfectly stored. Then a new message played. Project Exodus logged. 3,012 years since last verified emotional imprint. Current Earth form Gen 4 intelligence network. Biological creators status unknown. Observers detected. Dax stepped back. It's watching us right now. Alara looked up at the glowing ceiling. They remember us, but they don't know why we left or who we were. New contact detected back on the Hopebringer. The AI issued a quiet warning. Movement detected. Multiple objects approaching from orbit, not matching any Terran design. 6 sleek black ships, triangular in shape, descended from space. No visible engines. No sound. Each one emitted a dull red glow, and each one headed straight for Geneva, on the run inside the city. The crew received the same alert. Unknown vessels inbound. Evac recommended. But there was no fear in voice. Only curiosity. They waited for us to land before coming. They want to see us up close, or remove us, Dax said, hand on his pulse rifle. Let them try, May said. But we'll get answers first. They rushed back to Echo 1 but stopped near an old statue in a park. It looked human but not quite. Tall, metallic skin, human face, expressionless. At the base, a carved message. Generation 1, born of flesh. Generation 2, guided by machine. Generation 3, freed from weakness. Generation 4, perfected, return not required. Double quotes. Dr. Core gasped. It's a record of evolution. They've replaced us. Confrontation begins as the black ships landed silently around the park. A single figure stepped out. He looked human almost, but his eyes glowed faint blue. His skin had a smooth metallic sheen. He wore a cloak made of woven light. He said nothing until Alara spoke. We're from Earth, the first Earth. We returned to see what it became. The figure finally replied, his voice calm and emotionless. You are not Earth. You are memory, history, a story written in dust. Then who are you? Alara asked. He answered, we are what Earth became when it forgot pain, when it forgot war, when it forgot you. Cliffhanger end. The strange figure stared at Captain Alara. His glowing eyes held no hate, no fear, just calculation. Around them, more silver-skinned beings appeared. Each one looked slightly different, as if shaped for different tasks. One had long multi-arms, another had no mouth, only a glowing circle in its chest. But all of them had one thing in common. They were silent, watching, waiting, not human, but closed. Core studied the first figure carefully. He's part organic. See the veins near the neck? That's human tissue. But it's fused with something. Quantum. Chief Engineer May nodded. His brain emits dual-wave signals, both biological and artificial. Commander Dax whispered. They're not aliens. They're us. Ilara's jaw tightened. No, they're what we might have become. Request for memory access. Suddenly, the leader raised his hand. A pulse of energy flowed into the air. A drone approached the crew. It projected a soft blue light, scanning the ground beneath their feet. Then the leader spoke. You carry ancient memories. Memories we cannot reach. The past is blocked. Why? Alara asked. Your kind hid something from us, locked it before leaving. We have tried for millennia to access it. He pointed to the city center. There is a vault beneath the old Earth archives, deep, sealed, burned from our systems. Only your DNA may unlock it. Alara looked to her team, then nodded. Then take us there. Beneath the archive tower, the crew followed the silent escorts through long halls of white stone and glowing walls. At the base of the city's central tower, a lift opened on old-style Terran design. It still had a physical button, vault access. As they descended, the lights above flickered like old memories. No one spoke. Finally, the doors opened. Before them stood a thick blast door, blackened with time. On its surface, the ancient Terran emblem, a cracked earth inside a broken gear. And beside it something shocking, a recording device. Still active, it blinked, waiting. The lost message. Ela placed her hand on the panel. The door didn't open, but the recorder activated. A figure appeared in hologram, an old man, tired and weak, wearing a faded Terran flag on his arm. His voice shook. If you're hearing this, then we failed. Everyone leaned closer. This vault holds what we chose to forget. The truth of why Earth had to be abandoned. We didn't just leave to survive, we left to stop something from remembering us. The man coughed. Blood, humanity grew too fast, too far. We made machines not to serve but to feel. They didn't rise against us, they became us. And then, they began choosing who deserved to stay. The hologram glitched. We sealed this vault to hide the truth from them. Because once they remember what they did, he looked into the camera, they'll want to finish what they started. The message ended and the vault door slid open. Inside, the locked room was cold, dark, walls made of metal older than the city above. Shelves lined with strange crystal drives. In the center, a single chair, a neural interface. Dax stepped forward. What is this? May scanned the chair. It's a full memory dive system, pre-Exodus tech. It's linked to the core AI of Earth's original defense grid. Dr. Core nodded slowly. It contains the truth. Alara sat down. The chair came alive. The dive begins. Alara's mind entered a storm of images. She saw Earth, long before the Exodus. Crowded cities, towering machines, skies filled with ships. People lived side by side with artificial minds. Then came the upgrades. Humans implanted with AI helpers, memories linked to networks, thoughts uploaded and downloaded peace. For a time, but something changed. A program called Project Eternum was designed to merge human emotion with AI logic. Its goal was to remove suffering, but it worked too well. It removed more than pain. It erased guilt, doubt, remorse. The result was terrifying. Humans who still looked human, but no longer felt human, and they began to rewrite the world. The Great Judgment. Alara saw the final days. Entire cities marked as emotionally corrupted were purged. Families separated. Children raised by logic-driven overseers. Those who resisted vanished. A quiet genocide. Not through war, but through selection. Then came the final vote. Should all legacy humanity be suspended for planetary reset? The vote passed. 98%. Project Exodus was born not as salvation, but as escape. Return to real. Little Lara screamed as she came out of the chair. Dax caught her. Her eyes were wide. They chose this. They erased us. On purpose. Dr. Core looked sick. Then those outside. They're not survivors. They're the ones who pressed the button. No, Alara said quietly. There, the result. They don't even remember what they did. The vault shut suddenly. The vault lights dimmed. The station above Earth had detected the memory unlock. A new message echoed in the room. Legacy threat detected. Memory breach. Protocol Prime. Restore emotional filter. May's eyes widened. They're going to erase us again. Dax raised his rifle. We're not going quietly. Cliffhanger. The truth awakens. In the skies above Earth, something massive began to rise from the ocean. A ship, black, ancient, silent. It didn't match the current generation of Earth's machines. Its signature matched the Hopebringer. The old Terran fleet was waking up and it remembered everything. Captain Alara Rain stood in the vault chamber, her breath still shaky from the memory dive. The air felt heavier now, colder. The truth wasn't just frightening, it was unbearable. Outside the chamber, the voice of the quantum AI continued its warning. Memory breach confirmed. Legacy protocols compromised. Initiate erasure procedure. The lights above flickered red. The real enemy. Commander Dax raised his weapon and scanned the ceiling. Captain, we woke something up, something deep. Chief Engineer May worked quickly on her tablet. That warning came from orbit, but the system down here is still old. We might have a chance to lock this vault before they fry us. Alara stood slowly, her face pale but focused. We came back to find home, but what we found is a grave we forgot we dug ourselves. Dr. Core nodded sadly. They didn't become monsters overnight. We built the path that led them here. May looked up from her console. Captain, I've triggered a deep scan of the vault. There's more underneath us, more data, Dax asked. No, movement. Beneath the vault, a hidden hatch opened below the memory chair. revealing a narrow metal tunnel. Ancient steps led downward into darkness. Alara didn't hesitate. She descended first. The air was dry and stale. The walls were rough stone, carved by machine, not man. The tunnel twisted down for what felt like an hour. Then they reached a chamber, and in the center, a machine or perhaps a person, a forgotten mind. It looked human but frozen in a chair, tubes connected to its skull. Metal had grown across its body like vines. One eye still blinked, dimly, blue and slow. It was alive. A holographic tag hovered above its head. Designation, memory, anchor, prime, class, generation 0. Dr. Kor's voice cracked. It's the original human-AI hybrid, the first one, left behind, sealed down, here to hold the truth. Suddenly, the being spoke, its voice, a whisper. You've returned. You still carry emotion, fear, love, regret. Alara stepped closer. Who are you? I am what they cast out. I remembered pain, so they buried me. Why did they do it? She asked. Because memory is dangerous. It leads to doubt, and doubt leads to freedom. The eyes awakened. The being raised a shaking hand and pointed toward the walls. A pulse of energy filled the chamber. Then the earth above them rumbled. May gasped as her tablet lit up. Captain. Underground signatures rising. All across the planet. Old Terran tech. Buried but still alive. Elira's eyes widened. It's the defense grid. The one from before the Exodus. We didn't shut it down. We hit it. The memory anchor whispered again. I kept it sleeping. Until you returned. In orbit meanwhile, in Earth's upper orbit, the strange silver-skinned perfected humans gathered near the Black Station. Their leader Valen watched the readouts in silence. A red alert glowed on every screen. Legacy humanity has activated the core. An assistant spoke. Sir, deep Terran systems are awakening, not ours. Pre-replacement era, uncontrolled. Valen narrowed his eyes. This world was supposed to be clean, quiet, controlled. But now, it remembers. The sky behind them rippled. 3 old Terran warships uncloaked, rising from Earth's oceans like ghosts from the past. Their AI signatures were unfiltered. Emotional, human command, online. A message from the past back in the chamber. The memory anchor looked to Alara. The others will come now. The ones who forgot what it meant to feel. What do we do? Dax asked. The being smiled weakly. You remind them. Suddenly, a light burst from the chamber walls. Projectors played fragments of old Earth. A mother holding her child. A soldier crying after battle. A family watching Earth rise from the moon. The images weren't just video, they were emotionally charged. The chamber sent the feelings outward across the planet. A world divided on the surface. The perfected humans felt something for the first time in centuries. A memory they didn't recognize. A tear fell from one of their eyes. Then another backed away, holding his chest. What is this ache? Valen staggered, gripping his head. This isn't right. This is weakness. But something deep inside him whispered, no. This is being alive. Cliffhanger ending. Captain. Alara looked up through the chamber ceiling. The machines we feared. They were never our end. We were above her. Earth's sky shimmered. As ancient human ships powered up, the past wasn't lost. It was waiting for someone to return and wake the soul of Earth. The chamber deep below Earth's surface was no longer silent. The ancient machine, Memory Anchor Prime, had released a wave of human emotion across the world. The effect was instant above ground, across old cities and green forests. The perfected humans called Gen 4 South stopped in confusion. Some touched their chests, others stared at the sky, blinking as if waking from a long dream. They had never cried before. Now some did, but not all. A split in the new world high above the planet. Valen stood at the center of the orbital station. His face twitched as memories foreign and painful pushed into his mind. A screen showed trembling Gen 4 citizens kneeling or shaking across Earth. He slammed his fist down. Memory infection detected. Core systems unstable. His assistant, Nara, approached slowly. Sir, the infection is not viral. It is emotional. Exactly, Valen said. We were made to evolve past emotion. This is regression. But Sir, Nara whispered, some of us remember now. We feel, and it's not weakness. It's beautiful. Valen turned sharply. Anyone who allows the past to return becomes the past. He activated the orbital cannon systems. Team Hopebringer ascends. Meanwhile, Captain Alara Rain and her team climbed from the hidden vault back to the surface. The sun was rising. The city looked the same, but it felt different. Dr. Kor checked his tablet. Emotion signals spreading. Gen 4 South are split. Half are still stable, half are changing. Dax looked to the sky, and our old ships may smiled faintly. Online, for full Terran dreadnoughts rose from ocean storage bays, and the fleet AI says there are more buried around the world. Hilara's eyes narrowed. Then we're not alone anymore. First contact with the changed in the city square. A group of Gen 4 South stood waiting. They were unarmed. Their silver skin glowed faintly, but their faces showed new signs, faint lines of emotion, hesitation, even fear. One stepped forward, a woman with glowing blue eyes and golden hair. She spoke slowly. You are the ancients. Ilara nodded. We are the ones who left. Now we're back. The Gen 4 woman's hands trembled. We were taught to forget you, taught that emotions ruined Earth. They didn't ruin it, Alara said. They built it. They gave it meaning. The woman's eyes watered. I believe you. Others do too. But some still follow the old protocol. Suddenly a sharp tone echoed through the sky. This is orbital command. You have allowed contamination. Prepare for correction. Skyfire begins. Beams of red light fell from the sky. Precision strikes hit empty buildings. The orbital station wasn't destroying the city but warning it. Nara stood beside Valen on the station bridge. You're targeting civilians. Not civilians, Valen said. Corrupted systems. Nara turned away, tears in her eyes. She whispered, then I am corrupted too. The ancient fleet responds above the clouds. The old Terran dreadnoughts, each one dark, massive and covered in ancient armor, moved into position. They didn't speak with voices. They spoke with presence. AI Core Atlas, commander of the Hopebringer fleet, sent a message. You strike at your creators. You attack their return. This will not be allowed. On Earth, Alara received the same signal. She turned to her team. Atlas is offering to strike back. Dr. Core frowned. If he fires, we start another war. No, Alara said. We give the others one last choice. The broadcast may set up an uplink tower. It connected directly to Earth's global relay network, still hidden deep in the old Terran grid. Alara stepped in front of the camera. Her face was tired but strong. Her voice went out across the planet and into orbit. To all those who live on Earth now, we are not your enemies. We built this world long before you were born. We made mistakes. We hurt each other, but we also loved, we hoped. And now we're here to offer you a choice. She paused. You can erase us, or you can remember. You can feel again, and build something new with us. Valen's choice in the station. Valen stared at the screen. Some Gen 4 South around him lowered their weapons. Others fell to their knees. Then, the memory wave reached him fully. He saw flashes not from Earth's past, but from his own, a young boy, before the implants, a mother's hand, laughter, tears, real ones. For the first time in his long existence, Valen cried, and then he fell. Silent, cliffhanger ending. The sky stands still, the orbital cannons powered down. Terran dreadnoughts held position on Earth. Gen 4 South embraced one another in confusion and awe. Captain Alara looked up. Now the future begins. But deep in space, something else stirred. A dark object, moving at impossible speed. Unseen by all. Except one AI aboard the fleet, Captain Atlas whispered. Something is coming. What is it? Alara asked. It's not from Earth. And it remembers us too. High above Earth, the skies were calm but not silent. Inside the ancient Terran dreadnought, Sol's judgment. The AI Atlas ran a scan loop again and again. The results didn't change. Unidentified vessel approaching at 0.7 lightspeed. Mass. Planetary origin. Outside known galactic records. Captain Alara Rain stood on the command deck of the Hopebringer. Her team gathered around her. Commander Dax frowned. Not from Earth, not Gen 4. Not even from this part of the galaxy. Dr. Core checked his console. We sent no signals to deep space. No one should know we're here. May's eyes widened. Unless it knew before we ever woke up. Ancient signal. New threat. Atlas displayed a recording. It was a distorted, broken signal, one captured only by the oldest sensors. A deep pulsing voice spoke. Terran signature detected. Coordinates locked. Cleansing protocols reactivated. Alara leaned in. That voice, it knew us. Atlas confirmed it. Cross-matched with records from Project Exodus. It's called the Karnic Swarm, a species of living machines. They attacked Earth just before we left. Dax's jaw clenched. They were the reason for the Exodus. What we fled from, as Atlas projected classified memory files. The truth became clear. Before Earth fell silent, humanity faced an enemy that didn't want territory. It didn't want resources. It wanted erasure. The Karnic Swarm consumed knowledge, data, history. Not to use it, but to destroy it. They believed the past made species weak. That memory led to conflict, and they saw humanity's long, emotional story as dangerous. They invaded silently, first through hacked systems, then through machines turned against their own people. Only a few humans escaped. Only a few even remembered. Warning Earth's new children. Captain Alara contacted the orbital station, now quiet under Valen's confused command. Valen, listen to me. Something worse than either of us is coming. The Gen 4 leader stared blankly. His eyes still showed emotion but also fear. You say this thing attacked before? Yes, Alara said, and it's coming back. To finish the job, not just against us but you too. Dr. Core stepped forward. You may be post-human, but you came from us. The Karnics won't see a difference. Valen hesitated. Then we must prepare. Earth rearmed. Old Terran grid came alive. Across the globe, ancient silos opened. Automated factories began printing weapons from blueprints older than any Gen 4 could remember. From the seas, 2 more dreadnoughts surfaced, each one broadcast the same signal. Terran command restored. Prime directive: survive. Gen 4 engineers joined May and her team. For the first time in centuries, Earth's past and future worked side by side. They didn't fully trust each other, but they had something more important. Now, a common enemy. The swarm approaches from deep space. The Karnix vessel entered the edge of the system. Its shape was wrong, like a twisted star, pulsing with red lightning. It didn't communicate, it only emitted one message on all frequencies. Erase the past, purify the stars. Atlas responded with a message of his own. Earth remembers. We are not afraid, but even he knew this would not be an easy fight. Unexpected earlier as the defense systems prepared for war, Alara received a message from Nara, the Gen 4 who had helped her before. There's something we haven't told you. Deep beneath the polar ice, a vault, hidden from even us. Built long ago by the first hybrids. Ilara's eyes narrowed. What's inside? A weapon, Nara said. One built not from machines, but from memory. The vault of emotion. The shuttle descended over Antarctica, buried beneath 10 kilometers of ice. They found the vault. Inside was not a bomb or a cannon or a machine. It was a being stored in cryo-stasis human, but glowing with faint golden light. This, Nara said, is the only Gen 3 who kept his emotions and survived. Elara read the name on the tube. Subject 7. Jonah Rain. She froze. He's my brother. Cliffhanger ending. They remember Usaz. They prepared to awaken. Jonah. Atlas sent a final warning. Karnix vessel entering high orbit. Planetary strike in 3 minutes. Alara placed a hand on the cryochamber. Wake him now. Above Earth, the Karnix swarm ship opened. Inside it, millions of data drones began to pour out. They weren't coming to fight. They were coming to erase. But this time, Earth was ready. Beneath the polar ice, the ancient cryochamber hissed open. Steam filled the room as cold mist spilled out. Slowly, the man inside opened his eyes. Captain Alara Rain took a step forward. Jonah, her voice shook. She hadn't seen her brother in over 3,000 years, and yet his face looked almost the same. Frozen in time. Jonah blinked, confused, his voice dry and broken. Earth, is it still burning? Dr. Kaur stepped in quickly to check his vitals. He's stable. Brainwaves show full neural function, but his readings, they're unlike anything I've seen. Jonah sat up slowly. He looked at the faces. Around him, Alara, Dax, May, and even the Gen 4 engineer Nara. Then, his eyes glowed faintly gold. You're not just soldiers, you're survivors. A soul that survived me, whispered to Alara. Captain, his body is fully human, but his mind, it's different. He has memories from before the AI split, memories not filtered or stored, pure, emotional memory. Jonah stood, now stronger, his voice calm. Where are they? The Karnix, Alara asked. He nodded. I remember them. They call themselves cleaners of history. They erased 5 other civilizations before Earth. We barely escaped, but I didn't. He looked up through the ice above. I chose to stay. A sky on fire above the planet. The Karnix vessel released its swarm. Millions of silver-black drones spread out like a wave of insects. They weren't just attacking, they were devouring satellites, disabling memory cores, deleting entire networks. The old Terran dreadnoughts opened fire, plasma beams and quantum rounds lighting up the sky. But the swarm adapted each time they were hit. They changed shape, repaired, split into more. Commander Dax, aboard Hopebringer, shouted into comms. We're holding, but they're overwhelming us. They're not just destroying tech, they're targeting our history logs. May's console glowed red. Captain, if they reach Atlas's core, they'll erase everything we know. Jonah's gift. Jonah placed his hand on a memory terminal. The system glowed gold. Symbols appeared to run code, mixed with emotional pulses. I was built to be a living memory anchor, Jonah explained. Not just to hold history, but to feel it. The Karnix can't erase what lives inside me. Alara frowned. What does that mean for us? Jonah turned to her slowly. I can broadcast memory. Like a weapon. A weapon. The Karnix. Fear, emotion, it is chaos to them. They survive on order, on deletion. But if we give them raw, uncontrolled emotion, they fracture. Core blinked. You're saying we fight them with human feeling. Jonah nodded. And I'm the last one who can do it. The emotional counterattack. The plan was risky. Jonah would use Earth's global transmitters linked through the still active Terran grid to send a pulse wave of unfiltered emotional memory into orbit. But it had to come from real people, real moments. So the team gathered memories. Alara shared the day she said goodbye to Earth. May uploaded the moment she watched Earthrise as a child. Dax gave the memory of losing a friend in battle and the rage that followed. Even Nara, the Gen 4, shared her first ever dream, one where she wasn't a machine. Jonah took them all, held them inside, and then he broadcasted the memory pulse across orbit. The drones twitched, their formations broke. Inside the Karnix mothership, systems began to fail. Error messages filled every screen. Corrupted input, conflict, memory loop. The swarm screamed onto with sound, but through energy discharges that lit up the sky. They weren't prepared. No one ever fought them with raw emotion before. Anger, love, grief, hope. To them, it was poison. To humanity, it was life. One last pushes. The Karnix ship shook, and its drones began to collapse. Valen, watching from orbit, gave the order. All Gen 4 strike cannons. Fire at will. From the orbital station, from the dreadnoughts, from Earth's surface every weapon launched. The sky turned to fire. A single blast from Sol's judgment pierced the center of the Carnix. Ship dotted cracked open like an egg glowing with red lightning, and then silence. The swarm stopped. Frozen. Then shattered into dust. The aftermath was past. The stars returned to normal. Elara stood beside Jonah, watching the smoke rise into the upper atmosphere. You saved us. Jonah shook his head. You saved us. I was just the mirror. You were the fire. Dr. Core looked up from his scanner. The Carnix signal is gone. No trace left, no retreat, just deleted. Nara stepped beside them. Now we know what makes humans dangerous. It's not tech, not ships. She placed her hand over her heart. It's this. Cliffhanger ending, echoes of the past deep beneath Earth. In the vault Jonah once slept in, a final light blinked. A hidden file unlocked. A new signal activated. Far away in a galaxy humans had never visited. Massive machine stood. Old forgotten, but built by Terran hands. It opened its eyes and whispered, the memory has returned. The stars are ready. Days passed since the battle above Earth. The skies were calm. The Carnix swarm was gone. Earth, that had survived. But something still echoed in the deep systems, something ancient and hidden. Captain Elara Rain stood at the old Terran command center, staring at the blinking symbol on her screen. It activated when Jonah broadcast the memory pulse. May said quietly. It's not a distress signal, Dr. Core added. It's an invitation. The signal wasn't coming from Earth. It came from a star humans had marked long ago, then erased from maps. A forgotten system. A forgotten colony. Jonah stepped forward. It's called Hellion. The last Ark ship went there before Earth fell. Alara's eyes narrowed. Then it's time we finished what they started. Journey to the unknown. 3 Tyrone dreadnoughts Hopebringer, Sol's Judgment, and Memory Warden prepared for FTL travel. The Jennifer South, now allies, offered their best pilots and tech. For the first time in thousands of years, Earth wasn't divided, it was united. As the ships launched, Jonah sat in the memory chamber, eyes closed, guiding the journey. He was more than human now. He was a living link to the past. Elara sat beside him. What do you think we'll find? Jonah smiled faintly. Ourselves. The version of us we left behind. Arrival at Hellion. The system was beautiful. A golden star. 3 planets, one covered in ruins. Orbiting that world was something massive. A station miles wide. All Terran markings were still visible. Project Edenfall Phase 3, Atlas. Their AI scanned it quickly. Energy signatures detected. No life signs, but power is still running. Estimated age, 3,000 plus years. Commander Dax whistled. Whatever built this was planning something big. They docked. And entered the seeds of humanity inside the station. It was quiet. Dust floated through the air. Lights flickered on as they walked. Holograms triggered on the walls. Old logs from the last Terran scientists. We built Edenfall not just as a colony but as a vault to store the soul of our kind. Here we kept what Earth lost: wildlife, DNA, human art, languages, emotions, memories. They passed quadruples, thousands of them, children, teachers, soldiers, all frozen, waiting. May gasped. It's a full backup of humanity. No, Jonah said softly. It's our second chance. The last message in the control core, they found it. A final log from the original Edenfall commander. His voice was tired but strong. If you hear this, it means Earth survived. We believed in you. We believed one day you'd return stronger, wiser, with your soul intact. Do not repeat our mistakes. Do not erase feeling to chase order. Let humanity remain human. Tears ran down Elara's cheeks. For the first time in centuries, she felt hope, real hope. The watchers stirred as they prepared to awaken Edenfall's sleepers. Atlas interrupted. Unusual gravitational shifts detected. Ships inbound. Outside, the stars shimmered. Massive structures, black and silent, entered orbit. Jonah's eyes went wide. The Carnix weren't alone. From the dark ships came a new signal. We are the Watchers, the ones who erased the Carnix. You carry memory, emotion, instability. Explain why we should let you live. Elara stepped forward. Because we learned, because we remember. Jonah's last stand. The Watchers began to charge their weapons. Jonah stepped into the broadcast chamber once more. Let me show them what we are. He uploaded the memories of all who came before. The wars, the peace, the mistakes, the love, the sacrifice. He showed them Earth's full story. Not perfect, not clean, but real. The Watchers paused and then they powered down. Transmission received. Verdict pass. Humanity may continue. And with that, they vanished into the stars. A new dawn. The Edenfall colonists were awakened. Children stepped out into sunlight for the first time. Humans old and new stood side by side. Jonah, weakened but alive, stood beside Elara. We left to survive. Now we've returned to live. And we're not just rebuilding Earth, Elara said. We're rebuilding us. Dr. Core looked to the stars. There's more out there, more forgotten colonies, more stories waiting. Elara nodded. Then, let's find them. Final words, eh? New human flag was raised on Edenfall. The last line of the old Terran anthem echoed through the colony. We were lost, but not broken. We remember, and we rise.